the first to face the charge of colluding with foreign forces. The 73-year-old is already behind bars after being denied bail earlier this month in relation to separate fraud charges. His supporters say all the charges are politically motivated and are part of a widespread attempt to stifle dissent in the city. The United States imposed sanctions this week on 14 Chinese officials who helped enact the security law. It says the law has undermined freedom of speech. Beijing says the legislation has brought much-needed stability to Hong Kong after months of anti-government protests last year. Richard Kimber in Hong Kong.
Brandon Bernard's been executed in the US state of Indiana after the Supreme Court rejected last-minute clemency pleas. The 40-year-old was convicted of murder in 1999. A panel of experts has recommended the US FDA approve the use of Pfizer's vaccine to treat COVID-19 in the United States. Vaccinations could begin in the next few days, as Simon Marks reports.
The vote came at the end of a long day of deliberations by the Food and Drug Administration's advisory panel. It means the stage is set for the Pfizer-BioNTech vaccine to be used in the United States. Final approvals are expected to come shortly. Stocks of the vaccine have already been pre-positioned for its initial rollout to frontline health workers and first responders. But a long road lies ahead, and the Centers for Disease Control is warning in the next 60 days alone, another 180,000 Americans could die from COVID-19.
From bureaus worldwide, this is FSN.
Welcome to Calvin's Barbershop.
You all gotta see this.
I don't even want to know what you're looking at on that phone.
Well, you should. I was learning about the dangers of high blood pressure and that we need to get ours checked regularly. High blood pressure can increase the risk of heart attack or stroke, but this text program can help keep it at a healthy range. Just text Barbershop to 97779 to sign up.
I'll get right on it as soon as I'm done with this baby panda video.
Text Barbershop to 97779. A message from the American Heart Association and the Ad Council.
It's important to plan ahead for emergencies, like the storm. When it kicked in, we had a plan.
Separated.
We were able to get in touch with each other in no time.
Idea how to find each other.
The whole experience was fine.
The most frightening 10 hours of my life.
If there's one piece of advice I'd offer other moms out there, it's to stay calm
don't
and
ignore
keep to the
this
plan.
message.
Some parents plan ahead, some don't. Make sure you know where to find your family in an emergency. Start your plan at ready.gov. Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
In the small town of Elmira, New York, a boy was born into an all-American family. The odds of him achieving his dream in the fashion industry? 1 in 23 million. The odds of having a child diagnosed with autism? 1 in 68. I am Tommy Hilfiger, and my family is affected by autism. Learn more at autismspeaks.org/signs. Brought to you by Autism Speaks and the Ad Council.
The following is a production of Fenix Media. The views expressed do not necessarily represent those of the company or its advertisers and may contain language that's unsuitable for younger listeners.
Laugh it up, fuzzball.
I'm about to do to you what Limp Bizkit did to music in the late 90s.
Surely you can't be serious.
I am serious. And don't call me Shirley.
There goes the last DJ.
Gentlemen, I wash my hands of this weirdness.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another brand new episode of the Kristian Fenix radio show. It is Friday, December 11th, where your daily dose of laughs and levity in a crazy, crazy world. I'm joined by my co-host, Mr. Tony Sanfilippo. Tony, how you doing this morning? Tony, you are still on mute.
Sorry.
There he is.
Yeah, there we go. No, I'm doing good. So, ready for the last day, Friday morning, ready for a kick-ass show, and overall doing well. Trying this on a different computer today, so we'll see how this goes. And other than that, man, how you doing?
You know, I'm doing pretty well. Had a good night last night. Obviously, it's Friday, so looking forward to the weekend. But, you know, ultimately, it's things are going a little bit smoother. Oh, boy.
Yeah.
As soon as I speak.
It's
but
transition for me to go to something different. I'm a little behind because obviously I didn't get a lot of sleep. But, you know, that should be the last little hiccup for me. So,
in any case, let's go ahead and kick things off the way we do each and every day with a question for my co-host. Tony, have you ever felt the urge to get back at an ex-girlfriend or had an ex-girlfriend get back at you, you know, do something to just ruin your day or ruin their day for that matter?
Yeah. When I went through divorce, I always really wanted to just hire like someone that was just incredibly smoking hot, that was way out of my league, just to play the role of my girlfriend, like at like a nephew's birthday or a get together, just to show like, I don't need you. I ultimately wanted to show that I could move on and do better, which, you know, I think I've gone on and I've done those things, but just differently. But at the time, that was the only way I wanted to get back. There was no like malicious intent or anything.
Well, that's good.
Just kind of a, haha, look, I did better, which that just comes in time anyways. I mean, that all plays out how it's supposed to.
Exactly. Well, in this case, and of course this comes out of your neck of the woods, Tony, an ex-girlfriend with a grudge led Pueblo, Colorado officers on a wild goose chase late Saturday night. Officers surrounded a home on East 7th Street after receiving a call from a woman claiming she was hiding from her boyfriend, who was armed and threatening to kill her. Police quickly discerned the call was fake. It turns out the caller is the ex-girlfriend of one of the residents. She reportedly resides somewhere in another state and called in the false report because she's still having a hard time with the breakup, said Captain Rummel. It wasn't all a wasted
Captain Rubble? Like, is he the Hamburglar?
Rubble.
Rubble. Captain Rubble.
It wasn't all a wasted night, however, for officers who say the angry ex inadvertently helped them catch a wanted parole violator. It turns out the caller is the ex-girlfriend of one of the residents. She reportedly resides somewhere in another state, blah, blah, blah. Lawrence Salazar in the camper behind the house had a warrant out for DOC's fugitive extradition unit for parole violation. He was arrested and booked on the warrant. So while it is a good thing that she helped catch a parole violator, looking for the right word, what it doesn't mention here is if she got in trouble. Did she get arrested for making a false call, police statement, whatever it is? You know, there needs to be those sorts of consequences for doing something like this, even though she did help them out in one way.
Yeah, that's crazy. Just nuts how that goes. It's a little too far. Like, let it go. You know, you hear of like crazy breakup stories, and I mean, I've seen some crazy stuff before, but yikes.
Yeah, so. I mean, I knew a guy who his ex-girlfriend took a pickaxe to his car. That's pretty crazy, but to call in a police report that he's, you know, armed and threatening to kill someone,
that's hard.
Not a good idea, lady. Not a good idea.
Yeah, I had what was that, in high school with one of my first girlfriends, and we broke up, and I lived around the corner from her house. Her then boyfriend thought I was stalking her because I had to drive home, and I drove by her house, so he ended up breaking one of my windows.
Oh no,
so,
that sucks.
Yeah, that was pretty crappy. So
exes be jealous.
Exes be hating.
Yeah. In any case, folks, it is Friday. We've got a wonderful show lined up for you today. Let's talk about today's show, shall we?
It's Friday. Gotta get down on Friday. Everybody's looking forward to the weekend.
I'm looking forward to the weekend, but not before we bring you guys good news, everyone. We have a segment called How Observant. Our call-in topic today is relationship red flags. I think we might have just talked about a couple in this first segment. G-Man's going to be joining us with his matchups of NFL Week 14. We
G-Man special.
Round out the day with This Day in History, and Tony is up next with the entertainment news. Folks, don't go anywhere. We'll be back in just a few. Welcome to
Calvin's Barber Shop.
You all gotta see this.
I don't even want to know what you're looking at on that phone.
Well, you should. I was learning about the dangers of high blood pressure and that we need to get ours checked regularly. High blood pressure can increase the risk of heart attack or stroke, but this text program can help keep it at a healthy range. Just text Barbershop to 97779 to sign up.
I'll get right on it as soon as I'm done with this baby panda video.
Text Barbershop to 97779. A message from the American Heart Association and the Ad Council.
It's important to plan ahead for emergencies, like the storm. When it kicked in, we had a plan.
Separated.
We were able to get in touch with each other in no time.
Idea how to find each other.
The whole experience was
the
fine.
most frightening 10 hours of my life.
If there's one piece of advice I'd offer other moms out there, it's to stay calm and keep to the plan.
Message.
Some parents plan ahead, some don't. Make sure you know where to find your family in an emergency. Start your plan at ready.gov. Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
I spend a lot of time in the backyard, and I'm the center of attention at summer barbecues. In '96, I made some of the tastiest s'mores. And in '09, it was me, your backyard fire pit, that accidentally started a wildfire when a summer breeze carried one of my embers into some dry brush.
Spark a change, not a wildfire. Visit SmokeyBear.com. Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Hope you enjoyed your meal. And I just want to say, he's lucky to have a brother like you.
Lucky? Caring for my brother is far from easy. But he's a part of me, like my arms and legs, so I'll be his. No time for tired. Nothing can disable this love. He needs me, but I'm the lucky one, even though I need help now and then.
If you're caring for a loved one, visit aarp.org/caregiving for care guides and community. Support for your strength. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
What if I told you that a tornado was going to happen tomorrow, right where you live? That it would touch down at exactly 3:17 p.m., and I told you the exact path it would take. You would, of course, prepare. You would talk with your loved ones, and you'd make a plan today. It's true, I can't tell you a tornado will strike tomorrow, but shouldn't you have a plan anyway? Go to ready.gov/communicate and make your emergency plan today. Don't wait, communicate. Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
This is Mario Andretti. You know me as a race car driver, but I'm also a Meals on Wheels volunteer. I've raced against the sport's biggest personalities, but I've never met more vibrant, amazing people than the seniors served by Meals on Wheels. You can make a difference by dropping off a hot meal and saying a quick hello. So, America, let's do lunch. Volunteer your lunch break at americaletsdolunch.org.
This message brought to you by Meals on Wheels America and the Ad Council.
You're listening to Fenix Media. Listen live and explore more great shows at phoenixmedia.us. Get everything you need for the Kristian Fenix Radio Show over at phoenixmedia.us or on Facebook at facebook.com/Fenix Media Radio. Now back to the show. Well, we are back, folks. This is the Kristian Fenix Radio Show. It is Friday, December 11th. Now, we have a little thing called the Fenix Line. It is a 24-hour-a-day, 7-day-a-week voicemail line, giving you guys the opportunity to chime in on anything whatsoever. Maybe you took some revenge out on an ex, or they took some revenge out on you. We want to hear about it. Give us a call at 855-FENIX-RADIO. That's 855-FENIX-RDO or 855-336-4973. All we ask is that you keep it entertaining. We'll compile those together, put them out in a future show. Now, it is the second segment of this show, and that means that Tony is here with the entertainment news.
Good morning, everybody. It is Friday, December. Isn't it 11th? It is the 11th today. Here's your Filippo Fast Five. Okay, so sad news to start with. I always hate starting it this way, but Friday and Fifth Element star Tommy Tiny Zeus Lister has passed away at age 62. The actor and wrestler rose to fame as the hilarious Debo in Friday and Next Friday, and that terrible No Holds Barred with Hulk Hogan.
I remember that.
Doctor Strange 2, Rachel McAdams joined Sam Raimi's Multiverse of Madness. Surprise! Taylor Swift dropped a new album today. It's called Evermore.
Say what?
This is that now. I actually kind of like how she doesn't announce it. She just puts it out. So
I wish the bands that we followed actually did that.
Exactly. That would be really, really cool. Kevin Hart, Wesley Snipes will team for a Netflix limited series called True Story. And Emma Stone, Nathan Fielder, Benny Safdie to star in a Showtime comedy called The Curse. And that was your Filippo Fast 5. Now, a lot of news coming out yesterday out of the world of Marvel. Well, actually Disney in just general. They just they went ham and announced a bunch of stuff yesterday. And,
Hold on to your butt.
It just seemed like it just kind of just kept coming. And yesterday was called Disney Investor Day 2020. And they not only did they drop huge announcements, but it was just a plethora of announcements after announcements. And it just kept coming. It didn't stop. It just seemed like there was so much. But, so they dropped a new trailer for WandaVision, which comes out in January. That'll be the first of the Marvel Disney Plus shows. You can catch that.
January 15th.
Awesome little trailer. And then there was the first trailer for the Falcon and the Winter Soldier. That comes out was just summer of 2021,
March 15th.
And then one is it March? Even better.
Yep.
And then they announced Loki, which is great because it picks up right in Endgame where they were time traveling, and you get to see the adventures of that. And then lastly, they showed an actual trailer of the animated What If, which is the alternate universe animated of what if this happened instead of that with Disney. So some really cool stuff. You could definitely, it's all on the Proton Pack. It's all shared on our Geeky Nerdy one if you follow that. And you can also just really go to YouTube and just type in any of these and you can watch the trailers. Definitely worth watching. They had a sizzle reel for an upcoming Miss Marvel show. Miss Marvel is a newer character to Marvel Comics that grabbed the world's imagination. Marvel announced Iman Vellani, it's unknown, will play Kamala Khan. Miss Marvel. Wow. Miss Marvel's an original series for Marvel Studios, and it will come late 2021 to Disney Plus. Kevin Feige also revealed that Iman Vellani will also star alongside Brie Larson in Captain Marvel 2, which will also feature Tanoia Paris as the grown-up Monica Rambeau, who will be first seen in WandaVision. Feige then went on to drop reveals about a slew of new MCU shows and movies, as well announced that Fantastic Four is officially on its way and will be helmed by Spider-Man Far From Home director John Watts.
Oh, yeah!
That's great there. Yeah, and that doesn't even stop. This might be a pretty heavy-centric entertainment news around that, but She-Hulk also arrives to the MCU. Tatiana Maslany will portray Jennifer Walters / She-Hulk, and Tim Roth will return as Abomination. He was in The Incredible Hulk 2007, before the MCU really got kicking into gear. And Mark Ruffalo will also be back. This will be directed by Kat Corio and Anna Valea. She-Hulk is coming to Disney Plus sometime in the near future. Still not done with the announcement news is here. Samuel L. Jackson is back as Nick Fury, and Ben Mendelsohn from Captain Marvel returns as the Skrull Talos in Marvel Studios' original series Secret Invasion, coming to Disney Plus. So I guess so much for the whole next I don't know where they're going with the MCU next phase, because I thought that was all going to be Secret Invasion, but that's going to get its own show too. So it's going to be great to see how this all twines. I have no idea now.
Very cool. Did you say Samuel L. Jackson?
Yep.
Hold on to your butt. Sorry, I like it. I just put that clip together yesterday, and I'm enjoying it.
I like it, especially since you have that, because I just have, if it comes to Star Wars, the only thing I see accessible for me is I'm not using the iPad today. I'm using the old Mac as like the soundboard best I can, and actually using the MacBook to do the recording. So
changing it up on us.
Man, Yeah, what else do they have here? They've announced a show called Ironheart, which is in the vein spinoff from Iron Man. Looks like Dominic Thorne is a genius inventor. Riri Williams is Ironheart, an original series about the creator of the most advanced suit of armor since Iron Man. And then there's the show called Armor Wars, which Don Cheadle returns as James Rhodes, a.k.a. War Machine, in Armor Wars, an original series coming to Disney+. A classic Marvel story about Tony Stark's worst fear coming true. What happens when his tech falls into the wrong hands? That's not it. I still have so much more to throw at you. I just got to move my clock here so I know where my time is. The Guardians of the Galaxy will also be coming to Disney Plus in the form of a holiday special. James Gunn is back to write and direct. The original special will come to Disney Plus in 2022. So that'll line up right before Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. The fact that it's done from our friend, Is That Nerd Returns, James Gunn. Awesome. And then everyone's favorite little tree, Baby Groot, will star in a series of sorts on Disney Plus featuring several new and unusual characters. I Am Groot, an original series from Marvel Studios, is coming to Disney Plus. Whew. Still more stuff coming.
And you haven't even gotten to Star Wars yet.
I might not even get to it. I don't know. Academy Award-winning actor Christian Bale.
Good for
you. There we go. Will be joining the cast of Thor: Love and Thunder as the villain Gore the God Butcher in theaters May 6th, 2022. Oh, we're not done. We still have more Marvel, man. Peyton Reed is back to direct the third Ant-Man film, Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. Paul Rudd, Evelyn. Oh man,
you got this.
Mrs. Lily. I can't say
Evangeline.
Her first name. It's Evangeline. Okay, God, her name is hard. It's a beautiful name. Evangeline Lilly, Michael Douglas, and Michelle Pfeiffer all return. Catherine Newton joins the cast as Cassie Long and Jonathan Majors as King the Conqueror. So Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania coming soon. And of course, John Watts directing Fantastic Four. Whew! That was just the Marvel portion. Now, we get as much Star Wars news as I can. So Star Wars is also going to be big and heavily featured on Disney+. Hayden Christensen. Of course I am, Master. I'm ready. I'm ready to be a Jedi. Hopefully he's not any bitchy, but Hayden Christensen is back for the Obi-Wan series, and there's a Lando Calrissian show in development as well. So, and that will be Donald Glover will be back to play Lando in that. So, just crazy news. And then Patty Jenkins will be directing Rogue Squadron. Taika Waititi will be developing new films. So those will be actual big movies coming to theaters. And then there's even more. I didn't even click on everything. There's you had sent me messages last night.
There was a
trailers.
new trailer for the Bad Batch. There was Cassian Andor series. And then I was reading this morning that there was a new show being developed called Star Wars: The Acolyte, which is from the woman who headed the Netflix series. Oh, what is it called? Dollhouse? No, the Red Doll, something Doll. Any case, it sounds interesting. It's like a murder mystery Star Wars series.
Well, that'll be cool. And then because you mentioned the Bad Batch, Andor, which takes place right before it's the prequel to Rogue One.
Yep. Well, it can't be the sequel.
Of course, Ahsoka Tano is going to get her own show, which is no surprise. And it's just crazy. Yeah, you have... Okay, now I have all this. Now that I can click on his thing. Yeah. Oh, come on, click. Oh, yeah, so the Acolyte sparks the Darth Plagueis theories, which is sweet. Oh, my gosh, there's just so much. There's...
Tell you what.
There's going to be...
let's let people know where to find the Proton Pack podcast, because we're going to be talking about this. We're going to record a brand new one on Monday, talk trailers, do all of that, because there's just so much to do, and we've got so little time left.
Yeah, that's it. So that's it, man. We'll go to the Proton Pack, check out our podcast Monday. We'll go into depth. We've covered basically the chunk of it here, not in even great detail. So that'll be a good, fun episode to check out. But that's really your entertainment news, because the only other thing I had to say was, I don't even know. Everything was just consumed by that. But I didn't have time to make punny birthdays, but we're going to do it on the fly here. So let's roll in birthdays. This bishop tangled with Bumblebee, and she'll be hanging out with Hawkeye. Haley Steinfeld is 24 today. This luchador is legendary. He's been wrestling since you and I were young and still wrestles today. I even think he lost an eye in an eye versus eye match. I'm sure that was real. Rey Mysterio Jr. is 46. Wow, he's only 46. He must have been wrestling when he was super young. Let's see. He shouted at the devil. He was too fast for love. He just like them girls, and he's slapping the bass. Nikki Sixx is 62. Oh man, this guy, he used to give fits to Mr. Feeney, and he hung out with Corey Matthews. That is Ryder Strong is 41, and we're just gonna call that your birthdays, because I don't have anybody else famous on here other than DJ Yella, 53, but I have no puns for him. So happy birthday, guys! Happy birthday!
You don't know DJ Yella? Oh,
no, I don't know.
Have you been living under a rock? In any case, folks, when we come back, it's Friday. We're gonna run down good news, everyone. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
Okay, what are you wearing right now?
Nothing.
That's right. So Mommy's gonna teach you how to dress yourself. Underwear always comes first, name tag at the back, then pants, then shirt. Get the first button in the right hole, or you have to start all over. Socks going first, then shoes, right on right, left on left. With shoelaces, just take the ends, cross them over, switch the loops, the rabbit goes down the hole, pull tight, and you're left with bunny ears. Got it? Why are your pants on your head?
Most parenting is hard to do in just 2 minutes. But 2 minutes twice a day making sure they brush their teeth is easier, and it could help save them from a lifetime of tooth pain. Visit 2min2x.org to find out more. A message from the Partnership for Healthy Mouths, Healthy Lives, and the Ad Council.
This message is for all of you sitting in the passenger seat. And apologies if it gets a little uncomfortable. But how does it feel to be at the mercy of someone who thinks a random text is more important than your life? Someone who takes their eyes off the road while speeding along in a 3-ton hunk of steel. Freaky, right? Well, why not just ask them to stop? Or better yet, volunteer to text for them. It might be a little awkward, but believe me, you'll live.
Learn more at stoptextstoprex.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration.
We are live outside the home of Joe and Rosie Goddard, where a pretty big tickle fight broke out just minutes ago. Sources say their father instigated the laughter. Let's go inside for a comment. Apparently, they have no comment. Dads, let this be a reminder that it only takes a moment to make a moment. Call 877-4DAD-411 or visit fatherhood.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
How's it going?
I'm having a stroke.
Are you going to shake my hand?
I'm having a stroke.
Wow, you're not even moving your arm.
I'm having a stroke.
When someone is having a stroke, they may not be able to say it with words, but their body language will tell you loud and clear. Look for FAST. F, face drooping. A, arm weakness. S, speech difficulty. T, time to call 911 immediately. Know the sudden signs. Spot a stroke fast. Visit strokeassociation.org. Brought to you by the American Stroke Association and the Ad Council.
Hello, Kubo. What have you got planned for today?
Come on, this way.
Adventure can be found anywhere, but the best place to start is in the forest.
It's the most powerful magic there is.
Head outside to discover incredible animals.
Wow.
And beautiful plants that come together to create an unforgettable adventure. So grab your loved ones and explore a world of possibilities. Visit discovertheforest.org to find the closest forest or park to you. Brought to you by the Ad Council and the U.S. Forest Service.
My teacher said that we should have a plan in case of an emergency. Do we have one?
First thing I'm gonna do is grab a flashlight with dead batteries.
I'm going to start randomly throwing clothes in the bag. You two will be hiding in the closet and Dad won't be able to find you.
And that's when we both start crying.
Uncontrollably. Can you pass the cutlets?
Winging it is not an emergency plan. Make sure your kids know what to do during an emergency, who to call, where to meet, what to pack. Search Ready Kids at nyc.gov or call 311. Brought to you by the New York City Office of Emergency Management and the Ad Council.
You're listening to Fenix Media, the future of broadcasting. Listen live at phoenixmedia.us. Get everything you need for the Kristian Fenix Radio Show over at phoenixmedia.us or on Facebook at facebook.com/Fenix Media Radio. Now back to the show. And we are back, folks. This is the Kristian Fenix Radio Show. It is Friday, December 11th. Now, we are all over social media with many of you watching us right now as we speak on Facebook Live or YouTube Live. Now, we can be found on either of those platforms and any other social media platform. You can get a hold of me at facebook.com/Kristian Fenix Radio. That's Kristian with a K, Fenix with an F, radio, of course, with an R, or on Instagram and Twitter at Fenix Media Radio. Tony's available at facebook.com/Tony.Sanfilippo. That's SANFILIPPO.94, or on Instagram at Tony.Sanfilippo81. Now it is Friday, and as we like to do on Fridays, you know, there's so much negative news out there, so many bad feelings, people going at one another. Well, we like to flip the switch a little bit and bring you something that we call
good news, everyone.
You know, we like to lift you up, take you into the weekend on an up note. So I'll go ahead and kick things off with my good news. Good deeds don't go unnoticed. A little more than a year ago, Bored Panda published an article about 9-year-old Pavel, who donated his watercolors and drawings of animals to help stray animals and rescue shelters. The initiative was called Kind Brush. He used the money to buy food, medicine, and other necessary materials. 1 year later, Pavel is at the forefront of the cause of helping sheltered and stray animals. Pavel's mother, Ekaterina, got into contact and gave an update. So let's see. She said, "Hi, maybe you don't remember me. I'm the mother of Pamela Anderson, a young artist benefactor. I want to thank you very much for what you did for the project. I believe it was due to your post in particular that it became so popular abroad, thanks to which the project is living and developing. Pasha had the opportunity to realize his helpful ideas and create his own art space with animals that need help. Thank you for all from our family." Let's see. Pavel's foundation has donated 3 tons of food and over 500,000 rubles to a dog shelter over the year. Obviously, they're based out of Russia, so whatever that conversion rate is. They said a lot has happened in our project this year. Pavel Abramov's Kind Brush is now an international movement to help animals in shelters. Today's numbers, about 150 orders sent to 15 countries in the world and about 1,000 orders in the queue. Thanks to this, it was possible to gain more than 3,000 kilograms of food, medicine, household items, repair materials, and household equipment at the shelter, more than 500,000 rubles to animal shelter life. If you guys know the conversion, let me know. I think it's pretty significant amount of money. They said now the project serves animals from the Life Shelter in Arzamas and shelters in other cities. The shelter has launched sterilization programs for homeless animals and food collection boxes to help the shelter animals. But the most important event of the year for us is the Art Pate Creative Cat Studio. Boy, that's a lot of word salad. Art Pate Creative Cat Studio. This is the workshop.
That's a lot to eat there, bro.
Yep. This is the workshop of Pavel and his friends. Here together with his family and friends, he implements various ideas to help stray animals. Here too in the studio, homeless cats live in search of a home. We pick them up on the street, treat them, vaccinate them, get passports, and look for their new owners among our guests. You can come to Art Pate with your whole family or friends. The studio holds various educational and entertainment events to help animals. And you know, this kid is 10 years old. You should see his paintings. I'm going to post it on our Facebook page, but they're amazing. I mean, they are really, really good. You wouldn't expect it from somebody of that age, but this kid's got a bright artistic future ahead of him.
Well, that's good, especially when they get into it so young, and if that's inspiring to them, where it leads to more. Like our buddy Andrew Nixon, and I don't know where you're at in this world, buddy. If you're watching the show, we miss you. He used to do art really young, and granted, as we got older, there's always somebody better at what you do, but man, he was a really good artist though.
Yeah, he was great. And the fact that this kid not only is just a painter, sure, he could go off to sell it and become famous that way, but the fact that he's using the money to help raise donations and food and care for shelter animals makes it even that much better. And that is my
good news, everyone.
All right, Tone, you're up. Bring us some good news.
Good news. Well, this was a longer story, but they shortened it, which this is going to be fun. So, all right. So this is. I hope you have a backup one, because they updated the article and they got rid of half of it. So
I've always got a backup just in case.
Yeah. So this one is, I'm going to just put this in the old Google search engine here, just to see if I can get that actual whole story, because it was a good one. But give me just one sec.
Nope.
Let it load and let me simmer here.
You're not allowed. Nope.
Okay, here we go. This might work. Oh, nope. Okay, so I'm just going to read what I have. I'm sorry. This is all I got. The article is Metalhead. Man wakes from coma. Metal bassist is respiratory therapist. Imagine waking up from a coma to see a musician you're a fan of standing in the room. Now imagine that musician is also your respiratory therapist. This actually happened to the fan of the band Hammerlord a few years back, who awoke to bassist Terry Taylor waiting to assist him. And that's it. See, then it cuts out. So lame. Yesterday it had like this whole article, basically had this guy in the hospital and he had to get his breathing back after the coma. It had to get back into rhythm. It was out of sorts. And what this musician had done for him had been working for him to get it. And it just turned out like he was a fan of the bass player of that band. So it just turned out to be a really good story. It's basically what the whole thing was. But for whatever reason, Loudwire, which is where I got this article, completely clipped. Like they went back and revised it, because that article is like mostly gone now. So I apologize. I will Google for a better one.
Yeah, that's all right.
That's all I have for good news. Unfortunately, it's not what I was hoping for.
It is interesting.
Never had that happen.
That would be like
never had them go back and revise it. So.
Yeah, that would be like waking up from a coma and having Jason Newsted standing over you. It'd be just weird and awkward, but regardless, I'd say it'd be
really strange. So I'm glad you have a backup, because never. I'm just embarrassed because that sucks. Like I've never, when pulling articles and stuff, I've had them go back and revise it, but there's always like they say article updated. I've never had them actually go back and take out the entire article, because it's kind of a pointless article now.
Right. Well, even though it was short, it was still
good news, everyone.
All right. And like I said, I always come prepared with a backup, because we don't want to get caught with our pants down, for lack of a better term. But
like that one.
Yeah. A man from the UK who ordered an inflatable Grinch for his daughter was taken aback when he found out its real size was bigger than his house. Now, the 49-year-old father has set up the inflatable figure right outside of his front door for a good cause. Needless to say, pictures of the pot-bellied, pear-shaped green creature has now been circulated widely on social media. Ray Liddell paid $670 for the inflatable, but had no clue it would turn out to be taller than a giraffe. After getting more than he bargained for, he has become a celebrity of sorts in Hartpool, County Durham. Hundreds of people have been flocking to Ray's house to catch a glimpse of the gigantic Grinch. So now Ray is using the popularity of the figure for a good cause. He has asked families to donate some money to charity after they have a look at the green giant in the front yard. According to reports, he has already collected more than $13,000. He said there was a queue on Sunday morning. I made sure everyone was socially distanced. I reckon we must have had over 5,000 people visit. It's been a real marvel so far. I only ordered it for my daughter as she loves the Grinch. I was delighted with her reaction, let alone that of strangers. The money collected from the public will be sent to the Alice House Hospice, a care center that looked after Ray's dad died before he passed away from COVID-19. So, it's a mistake that turned into something good, and raising over $13,000 is nothing to scoff at. It's a really cool thing. And
good news, everyone.
Definitely.
Well, folks,
that one's really good.
That does it for good news, everyone, for today. When we come back, we've got a segment called How Observant. How observant are you? Don't go anywhere. We'll be back in a few.
This is Mario Andretti. You know me as a race car driver, but I'm also a Meals on Wheels volunteer. I've raced against the sport's biggest personalities, but I've never met more vibrant, amazing people than the seniors served by Meals on Wheels. You can make a difference by dropping off a hot meal and saying a quick hello. So, America, let's do lunch. Volunteer your lunch break at americaletsdolunch.org.
This message brought to you by Meals on Wheels America and the Ad Council.
People been saying to your friend, get a different face, and posting on their feed, they're super ugly. The things they say to them online are cruel and they're not true. So tell your friend, I'll stand up for you. Don't worry, I know what to do.
Know someone being bullied online? You can be a witness and make a difference by letting the world know it isn't cool, and by letting your friend know you care. Learn more at eyewitnessbullying.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council.
Hope you enjoyed your meal. And I just want to say, he's lucky to have a brother like you.
Lucky? Caring for my brother is far from easy. But he's a part of me, like my arms and legs, so I'll be his. No time for tired. Nothing can disable this love. He needs me, but I'm the lucky one, even though I need help now and then.
If you're caring for a loved one, visit aarp.org/caregiving for care guides and community. Support for your strength. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
Allison is perfect. I mean, she'd never tell you that. She's humble and perfect. She likes everyone. She even likes her untidy roommate's weird guinea pig. Allison, wait, are you texting and driving? Allison, no. That's the exact opposite of what I was just saying about you. Why, Allison? Why? Texting and driving makes good people look bad. Visit StopTextStopWrecks.org, brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
I'm Paul George of the Indiana Pacers. When I was 6, my days were spent playing basketball. When I was 6, my dream was to make it to the NBA. When I was 6, my mom had a stroke. So I want you to learn to spot a stroke fast. F-A-S-T. F, face drooping. A, arm weakness. S, speech difficulty. T, time to call 911. I'm Paul George. Spot a stroke fast. Visit strokeassociation.org. Brought to you by the American Stroke Association and the Ad Council.
My name is Lola Silvestri, and I'm going to be 95 this year. I was very independent. I fell, and I had to have Meals on Wheels. America, let's do lunch.
1 in 6 seniors faces the threat of hunger, and millions more live in isolation. Drop off a hot meal and say a quick hello. Volunteer for Meals on Wheels by donating your lunch break at americaletsdolunch.org. This message brought to you by Meals on Wheels America and the Ad Council.
You're listening to Fenix Media, the future of broadcasting. Explore more great shows at phoenixmedia.us. Get everything you need for the Kristian Fenix Radio Show over at phoenixmedia.us or on Facebook at facebook.com/Fenix Media Radio. Now back to the show. Indeed. This is the Kristian Fenix Radio Show. It is Friday, December 11th. Now we are in the final segment of the first hour, but don't fret, there's still plenty ahead with our second hour to go. Now, if you missed a portion of the show or want to catch up on any of the previous shows, it is easy enough to do so. Head over to phoenixmedia.us, click on the show's link, scroll on down to the Kristian Fenix Radio Show. From there, you can get video, you can get audio as well, or head over to wherever you get podcasts, whether it's Apple, Google, Stitcher, Spotify, Anchor Breaker, TuneIn, iHeart, about 20 in all. While you're there, be sure to subscribe. That way you always have the latest episode. Leave a review. Let us know what you think and tell your friends, because sharing is caring. Now in this segment, which we've titled How Observant, wanted to talk about observations that people have made either about their lives or about just things in general. Tony, do you ever come across something that, it's just awkward, or something that you just have to share with people based on an observation you've made about your own personal life or just something going on around you?
Nothing in particular, but yeah, I have.
Okay.
Just no examples.
Well, as I run these,
top of my head.
As I run these down, maybe something will come to mind. Feel free to chime in at any point. But you know what? Since I love this soundbite, we're going to use this as our separator.
Hold on to your butts.
So hold on to your butts, folks. Here are some stories from people who have made some rather unique observations. For instance, this from Twitter user Rachel Harper says, for the past 2 years, the ticket man at my station, the guy who gave out tickets at her subway station, has baffled me. Some days we get on like a house on fire, chatting about life. Other days he won't even return a hello. Turns out to be a pair of identical twins who both work there. 2 separate men, 2 years. She had no idea.
Oh, man.
I'm sure she thought it was just split personalities or you know.
Yeah, like, why does this dude, like, we just talked. Like, what the hell?
At least she got some clarification. Moving on with How Observant.
Hold on to your butts.
This from Twitter user Mustard Sally 1. Awesome name. Says, I waved to a man. I waved to a man because I thought he waved at me. Apparently he waved to another woman, so to get out of the awkward situation, I kept my hand up and a taxi pulled over and drove me to the airport. I'm now in Poland, starting a new life. All from just thinking somebody was waving at you. You ever do that, Tone? You ever think somebody's like making eye contact with you or waving at you?
Oh.
You respond back and realize that it's somebody behind you?
Yeah, every day, man. There's sometimes people will be staring my way, and at work, I get that a lot, and I'm just like, what the heck is going on? Like, I'll like wave back, and I'll be like, hey, and they're not even talking to me. I'm just like, oh, okay. And then I just roll on.
I think we've all been there. I think we can all relate to that. Well, let's move on with How Observant.
Hold on to your butts.
Hold on, goo.
Tony, what would you say is probably the most useless degree somebody can get from a college?
Most useless one?
For me, I'd say like liberal studies or ancient Latin or something along those lines.
Yeah, I majored in the history of the dark arts.
You teaching over at Hogwarts later?
Yeah, exactly.
So this from user Katie Hannigan says, my friend got a degree in Egyptology, about as useless as you can get, but can't get a job, obviously. So he's paying more money to get a PhD so he can go to work teaching other people Egyptology. In his case, college is literally a pyramid scheme.
Yeah.
Quite observant.
That's random. I'm like, okay.
But it is one of those things that, what are you going to do with an Egyptology degree?
I don't even know what that is, so I don't know.
It's just the study of Egypt. I mean, how many museums could you potentially work for? You seem to be limiting your job options.
Yeah, and you'd be wasting a lot of money too, so.
All right. Let's move on with How Observant.
Hold on to your butts.
How butts.
All right. This from Nick Hansen MN, probably from Minnesota, says,
Bop.
There's literally nothing better than when you're full on laughing with someone and you both keep adding things that make it funnier and you can barely breathe. And again, I think that's something that we can all relate to, where it just snowballs into this uncontrollable laughter and you start crying, can't breathe. I've had a few of those moments in recent years.
I like to laugh like that. Those are the best ones. Those gut busters where you're just always in a good mood, or something just puts you in that belly laugh that you can't stop. It's awesome.
Oh, it's so much fun. Let's move on with How Observant.
Hold on to your butts.
All right. So this next one, obviously our use of our brains vary based on what we do, our lives, those sorts of things. For me, doing this radio show is enough just to keep my brain moving, and it's fulfilling in that regard, because otherwise, what else would you be doing? I sometimes wonder, though, if I've got the same mental capacity now as I did when I was a kid in school. For instance, Twitter user Brown Bucklit, I got to be careful how I say it.
Bucklit.
Said, this can't be the same brain I was using to read 750-page novels in 3 days during middle school. Do you remember those times of just cramming for tests or having to finish a book report in one night?
Yeah. Well, and you think if you cram, it's going to all be fresh, but realistically, man, you put too much overload that it's tough. Like, some of the stuff is fresh, so it kind of works, but oh man, it gets rough. A lot of late nights, and then your brain just does not function. So not as well as it should, at least.
Yeah, these days it's more like an old computer where when you boot it up, it's working fine, but as the day goes on, it starts slowing down.
Yep, which is why I'm trying a different one today versus what I normally use.
Well, let's move on with How Observant.
Hold on to your butts.
This from Twitter user That One Mum says, just realized that my boyfriend never asked me to be his girlfriend, and we've never established that we are actually dating. We just like living together and have a baby together, but we don't have an anniversary or anything. Oh my God, are we dating? Is it too late to ask what are we? What if we are just friends? I'm pretty sure you're dating, but it doesn't have to always be spoken. Jesse and I.
You don't really need a title, right?
No. Do you say, can we go steady? Is that still a thing?
Yeah. No, it is weird. I'll tell you. For the last, you were about to tell us about Jesse. Why don't you tell us, like, for you guys? I don't think anyone ever just said, "Will you be my girlfriend? Only if you be my boyfriend." Okay.
Well, what I was going to say is, Jesse and I have been together for 5 years. We got engaged last year. And people keep asking, oh, when are you going to get married? Aren't you worried about getting married during COVID? Blah, blah, blah. And we're really just rolling with the punches. We're in no rush. It'll happen when it happens. There's no rush to be like, we're officially married. It's nice that way.
Yeah. Well, that's one of those things, man. With last girl I dated, I think it was more fun, and when we didn't have a title, like we hung out all the time together. We were basically boyfriend girlfriend. I mean, we hung out, did everything together. Shoot, we traveled, Nevada together, and all that stuff. And then I feel once we made it like an official boyfriend girlfriend, like having to make it official, like then you go and make Facebook official and all that. Then it seemed like it went. So I don't know. I kind of like the no pressure of it when you're just dating, as long as you just commit, as long as you have that understanding and you communicate what you have.
Right. And obviously, I'm not in the dating pool. Tony, you are, trying to figure out what's going on and how people are feeling. It makes it a little difficult sometimes.
Yeah, it's oof.
Well, let's move on with How Observant.
Hold on to your butts.
Tony, I know.
Oh, yeah, baby.
I know you don't have any animals now, but you used to have a couple dogs. We've got dogs here. We've got bunnies. We've got a frog that'll eat your finger. But did you ever talk to your pets, either just as a normal human being or use the baby voice?
Both. Guilty on both charges. Yeah, it was.
I think we all are.
Hey, bud, what are you doing? Yay! You get all jazzed because it's fun. Like when I used to get home and Shadow would see me get all excited, he'd do his little butt wag thing because he had like his curly, because I had a Shiba Inu and their tails, like they come up and they curl. But what he would do, he'd do this cute thing when he's excited to see you. He'd like, his little teeth would come out and his ears would bend down and he would shake his butt. And so when he'd get home, I'd be like, oh, he's a good boy, and just, yeah, guilty.
Well,
guilty.
This from Twitter user Home Halfway. He decided to make a list of the conversations that he has with his cat. Said, just had a great conversation with my cat. We discussed the following. Number 1, is he a little baby? 2, he is in fact a little baby. 3, the fact that he's very cute. 4. The origin of how he got to be so cute. 5. Why is he so little? And 6. Details as to how he's a good boy. How analytical of your baby talk.
This is a little friend. You can find my friend on Instagram. He's got his own little Instagram. You should follow him because he's a good boy.
And then finally on...
why my kid voice turned to... why that girl in my head or person turned to a kid voice, but...
It happens. All right, finally with How Observant.
Hold on to your butts.
Tony, I know this happens to you. It happens to me as well, and it's something I can't quite explain. This from Twitter user Sahil says, I'll put my music on shuffle, then I'll get annoyed because it doesn't play the songs I like. It's true.
It's very true. It is. It's ridiculous because you're like, why is it'll play like bands and then it'll play bands that are definitely not like it.
No, it can be frustrating, but that's the joy of shuffle. Well, folks, that does it for the first hour. When we come back, it is our call-in topic of relationship red flags. Enjoy the news. Go take a pee break. We'll be back in about 7 minutes. You're listening to Fenix Media. Listen live and explore more great shows at phoenixmedia.us.
Hamilton was adopted from a rescue in 2008. He really likes to be around people. I get out my mat and I'm doing a downward dog and he's underneath. He's quite the pug about town. He gets invited to a lot of parties. He knows he's a pretty big deal. Look at this little face. How could you not love him?
Hamilton the Pug, Instagram star and shelter pet. Amazing adoption stories start in shelters. Visit theshelterpetproject.org to find a pet near you. Brought to you by Maddie's Fund, the Humane Society of the United States, and the Ad Council.
You make sure his toys don't have any sharp edges. You taught her what to do when the smoke alarm goes off. You do so much to keep your child safe. But are you using the right car seat for your child? Car crashes are a leading killer of children ages 1 to 13. Protect your child's future at every stage of life. For information on the right seat for your child, visit safercar.gov/therightseat.
A message from the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
So you see, son, good manners are important. Should I go through it again?
Yes.
Yes, please.
Yes, please.
Exactly. Always say please, thank you, you're welcome, and excuse me. Sit up straight, hold doors open, don't speak with your mouth full, keep your elbows off the table. Share your things, play nice, and generally treat others the way you'd like to be treated. Got it?
Got it.
And stop picking your nose.
Most parenting is hard to do in just 2 minutes. But 2 minutes twice a day making sure they brush their teeth is easier, and it could help save them from a lifetime of tooth pain. Visit 2min2x.org to find out more. A message from the Partnership for Healthy Mouths, Healthy Lives, and the Ad Council.
I'm a retired school psychologist, and helping people was my thing. After my stroke, when Meals on Wheels started, I was on the other end of the stick, so to speak. My name is Julius Gaines, creative writer, poet, photographer.
1 in 6 seniors faces the threat of hunger, and millions more live in isolation. Drop off a hot meal and say a quick hello. Volunteer for Meals on Wheels by donating your lunch break at americaletsdolunch.org. This message brought to you by Meals on Wheels America and the Ad Council.
You're listening to Fenix Media, the future of broadcasting. To explore our complete lineup, head over to phoenixmedia.us or like our Facebook page at facebook.com/Phoenix Media Radio.
From Feature Story News in Washington, I'm Nick Harper. The US Health Secretary says COVID-19 vaccinations could start as early as Monday, after the Food and Drug Administration signaled it would approve the Pfizer vaccine. But it comes amid predictions from the US Centers for Disease Control and Prevention that around 3,000 people will die every day for the next 2 months. US Health Secretary Alex Azar on ABC's Good Morning America.
FDA informed Pfizer that they do intend to proceed towards an authorization for their vaccine. So in the next couple of days, probably, as we work to negotiate with Pfizer the information doctors need to prescribe it appropriately, we should be seeing the authorization of this first vaccine. And we'll, as you just said, we will work with Pfizer to get that shipped out. And so we could be seeing people getting vaccinated Monday, Tuesday of next week.
Meanwhile, UK pharmaceutical manufacturer AstraZeneca has agreed to a partnership with Russia's Gamaleya Institute to work on a combined COVID-19 vaccine. Brexit trade talks continue as the European Commission President told EU leaders the situation is difficult and the main obstacles remain. UK Prime Minister Boris Johnson has briefed his cabinet to make preparations for a no-deal outcome. FSN's Hannah Simpson reports from London.
The deadlock over trade negotiations continues. European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen warned leaders on Friday that the probability of a no-deal is higher than of a deal. This follows Boris Johnson's comments on Thursday, in which he described it as a strong possibility that a deal would not be struck with the EU. The UK and EU have set themselves until Sunday to decide on the possibility of a post-Brexit trade deal. Fewer than 3 weeks remain until the Brexit transition period draws to a close.
4 US battleground states have rebuked a lawsuit seeking to overturn the outcome of the presidential election. This after 17 states, the president and more than 100 Republican lawmakers backed an effort by Texas to throw out voting results in Wisconsin, Georgia, Pennsylvania and Michigan. FSN's US correspondent William Denslow reports.
In a filing to the US Supreme Court, Pennsylvania's Attorney General Josh Shapiro said Texas's claims are bogus that have already been considered and rejected by other courts. Pennsylvania, along with 3 other states, have urged the Supreme Court to throw out a lawsuit filed by Texas's Attorney General to overturn the election results in those battleground states that voted for Joe Biden. A slew of lawsuits claiming election fraud have been rejected over recent weeks, but the Texas suit, backed by 106 House Republicans, perhaps represents the most coordinated effort to hand President Trump an election win. But legal experts say the lawsuit is a major long shot for the president and his allies.
From bureaus worldwide, this is FSN.
Keyboard Cat, Hamilton the Pug, and Toast Meets World. These are some of the internet's most beloved pets, and they all have one thing in common. Their stories started in a shelter. Start your story. Adopt a dog or cat today. Visit theshelterpetproject.org to find a pet near you. Training that pet to play the keyboard, that's optional. Start a story. Adopt a shelter or rescue pet today. Brought to you by Maddie's Fund, the Humane Society of the United States, and the Ad Council.
Okay, what are you wearing right now?
Nothing.
That's right. So mommy's gonna teach you how to dress yourself. Underwear always comes first, name tag at the back, then pants, then shirt. Get the first button in the right hole or you have to start all over. Socks going first, then shoes, right on right, left on left. With shoelaces, just take the ends, cross them over, switch the loops, the rabbit goes down the hole, pull tight, and you're left with bunny ears. Got it? Why are your pants on your head?
Most parenting is hard to do in just 2 minutes. But 2 minutes twice a day making sure they brush their teeth is easier, and it could help save them from a lifetime of tooth pain. Visit 2min2x.org to find out more. A message from the Partnership for Healthy Mouths, Healthy Lives, and the Ad Council.
How's it going? I'm having a stroke. Are you going to shake my hand? I'm having a stroke. Wow, you're not even moving your arm. I'm having a stroke.
When someone is having a stroke, they may not be able to say it with words, but their body language will tell you loud and clear. Look for FAST. F, face drooping. A, arm weakness. S, speech difficulty. T, time to call 911 immediately. Know the sudden signs. Spot a stroke fast. Visit strokeassociation.org. Brought to you by the American Stroke Association and the Ad Council.
The storks are bringing me a baby brother. We can do this together.
All right, let's go. Storks know how to keep kids safe. Do you? What?
Oh my gosh, you don't know.
I know.
You don't? Oh man, you laugh when you're uncomfortable.
No. Making sure your child is in the right car seat is one of the steps to safer travel.
I will rock this!
You will rock this! To know for sure that your child is in the right car seat for their age and size, visit safercar.gov/the right seat. Cool. Very cool. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
The following is a production of Fenix Media. The views expressed do not necessarily represent those of the company or its advertisers and may contain language that's unsuitable for younger listeners.
Laugh it up, fuzzball.
I'm about to do to you what Limp Bizkit did to music in the late 90s.
Surely you can't be serious.
I am serious. And don't call me Shirley.
Here goes the last DJ.
Gentlemen, I wash my hands of this weirdness.
Welcome back, folks, to the second hour of the Kristian Fenix Radio Show. It is Friday, December 11th. We're your daily dose of laughs and levity in a crazy, crazy world. Still joined by my co-host, Mr. Tony Sanfilippo. Tony, I understand you're having a little work done on your furnace there, huh?
Yeah, not my choice, but the landlord has that going on. So, yeah, fun stuff.
Well, luckily, it's not the Xfinity guy. We know how that happens.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so that's where I spent my break. No smoothie, no nothing, but I did top off on the tea, so
there you go.
Not a wasted break, do you know?
A little caffeine in the system, lubricate the throat a little bit.
Yeah, just
not a euphemism.
Just a little bit, yeah.
Furnace guy is over. It's not that sort of situation.
No. No.
But speaking of that sort of situation, this is the interactive portion of the show where we want to hear from you guys, the listeners and the watchers, on our topic of the day. Now, I wanted to remind you that we give the next day's topic in advance. That way it gives you guys time to chime in on the Fenix line, which is 855-FENIX Radio. That's 855-FENIX RDO or 855-336-4973. You just call, leave a message, leave your thoughts on whatever the next day's topic is, and then, of course, we'll play it during that topic section. Today's topic is relationship red flags. We've all been there. Obviously, it's that time of year where relationships are a little on the strange side. If you're in a long-term relationship, sure, it's great. If you're in a short-term relationship or it just got started, what do you do about the holidays? Do you exchange gifts? Do you meet the family? Do you go away together? Whatever it may be. So we wanted to talk about what are your non-starters? What has either happened in the past or something you look out for that is basically telling you, abort. Tony, anything come to mind on your end?
Oh yeah, man. Where do you begin, right? In the vast dating world over 7 years, it's usually when girls. Well, for me, in my cases, the few that I have dated, they've if they seem too hung up on their past relationship, generally means they're not over it. So that kind of is hard. They'll hover too much in that. Just a lot of little things. When you don't have stuff in common and you try to make it fit, and you start to see the what do they say, the crazy eyes in How I Met Your Mother.
Yeah.
They got them crazy eyes. Like there was like definite, you could tell anger when they say stuff like, nope, you're when you can already sense the controlling stuff, like, yeah, you're not gonna have facial hair with me if in my house, and you're not, oh, Star Wars, yeah, that ain't playing in my house, just little silly things like that. But there's a lot of stuff. I mean, you can go on for days of just crazies like red flags. For me, to throw back to my last relationship, and not to say I'm hovering in it. It's just the last actual one I was in.
Jeez, get over it already.
Big red. Yeah, I know, right? It's just good for story stuff, right?
Exactly.
The big red flag for me in that one was the trip in Washington. The aha moment was sitting in the car, like me being myself. Like, you absolutely have to be able to be yourself. Don't try to be somebody else. Don't try to be this fake impressive, just genuine you. That's all you can be. So me being a silly, goofy guy, I pick up the girl's phone. I've probably told this story on the show before, but if you're a new listener, you kind of get the shortened version. But I pick up the phone, hands are full. She's getting us coffee, and I pick up the phone, and I can't understand. I thought it was a spam call, so I'm like, hello, I cannot hear you. No big deal. And then she grabs the phone. Why would you do that? Don't do that. I'm like, whoa, just sorry. And she's like, that was our Uber driver. I was like, whoa, okay. And so then on the ride, of course, we get the most angriest Uber driver. It's like this lady with a mullet and just very angry Prius driving lady. And,
you didn't start off the relationship in the best way with the Uber driver. To be fair.
So by doing that to the Uber driver, I already had a bad relationship with that. Then I have a pissed off girlfriend because I decided to be funny. And it was just me being silly, I was just like, whatever. But during that ride, that's when we hit the bump, and that white zombie pink coffee thing she got me went all over the Prius, all over me, a little on her, but mainly on me. I just started laughing. But that was the aha moment. That was the red flag where I was like, you know what? This is probably not going to work. And then it really solidified when I moved up here, and I was told, like, well, I'm not driving up there all the time to see you. Okay, red flag. That means I'm not that important.
No.
It's cool, and I'm sure she doesn't listen to the show, but if she does, it's not a show, it's not a shoot. I am over it. It's just matter of fact.
And luckily you're not calling her out by name, so nobody's the wiser. In any case, folks,
Inner Circle knows. That's about it.
We want to open it up to you. We want to hear from you. Comment now on our Facebook page.
We want to know what y'all thinking.
At facebook.com/Kristian Fenix Radio. That's Christian with a K, Phoenix with an F, radio, of course, with an R. Just click into the live video, comment in the comment section about your relationship red flags, either something that you've experienced in the past as a red flag, or something that you've sort of just set yourself up with, that if they exhibit X, Y, and Z, it's not meant to be. Folks, when we come back, it is all about you, so don't go anywhere. We will be right back.
Welcome to Calvin's Barbershop.
You all gotta see this.
I don't even want to know what you're looking at on that phone.
Well, you should. I was learning about the dangers of high blood pressure and that we need to get ours checked regularly. High blood pressure can increase the risk of heart attack or stroke, but this text program can help keep it at a healthy range. Just text Barbershop to 97779 to sign up.
I'll get right on it as soon as I'm done with this baby panda video.
Text Barbershop to 97779. A message from the American Heart Association and the Ad Council.
It's important to plan ahead for emergencies, like the storm. When it kicked in, we had a plan.
Separated.
We were able to get in touch with each other in no time.
Idea how to find each other.
The whole experience was fine.
The most frightening 10 hours of my life.
If there's one piece of advice I'd offer other moms out there, it's to stay calm and keep to the plan.
Some parents plan ahead, some don't. Make sure you know where to find your family in an emergency. Start your plan at ready.gov. Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
I spend a lot of time in the backyard, and I'm the center of attention at summer barbecues. In '96, I made some of the tastiest s'mores. And in '09, it was me, your backyard fire pit, that accidentally started a wildfire when a summer breeze carried one of my embers into some dry brush.
Spark a change, not a wildfire. Visit SmokeyBear.com. Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service, your state forester, and the Ad Council.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Hope you enjoyed your meal. And I just want to say, he's lucky to have a brother like you.
Lucky? Caring for my brother is far from easy. But he's a part of me, like my arms and legs, so I'll be his. No time for tired. Nothing can disable this love. He needs me, but I'm the lucky one, even though I need help now and then.
If you're caring for a loved one, visit aarp.org/caregiving for care guides and community. Support for your strength. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
What if I told you that a tornado was going to happen tomorrow, right where you live? That it would touch down at exactly 3:17 p.m., and I told you the exact path it would take. You would, of course, prepare. You would talk with your loved ones, and you'd make a plan today. It's true, I can't tell you a tornado will strike tomorrow, but shouldn't you have a plan anyway? Go to ready.gov/communicate and make your emergency plan today. Don't wait. Communicate. Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
This is Mario Andretti. You know me as a race car driver, but I'm also a Meals on Wheels volunteer. I've raced against the sport's biggest personalities, but I've never met more vibrant, amazing people than the seniors served by Meals on Wheels. You can make a difference by dropping off a hot meal and saying a quick hello. So, America, let's do lunch. Volunteer your lunch break at americaletsdolunch.org.
This message brought to you by Meals on Wheels America and the Ad Council.
You're listening to Phoenix Media. Listen live and explore more great shows at phoenixmedia.us. Get everything you need for the Kristian Fenix Radio Show over at phoenixmedia.us or on Facebook at facebook.com/Phoenix Media Radio. Now back to the show. And we are back, folks. This is the Kristian Fenix Radio Show. It is Friday, December 11th. Now, we are smack dab in the middle of the interactive portion of the show where we want to hear from you guys, the listeners and the watchers. Just head over to facebook.com/Kristian Fenix Radio. That's Kristian with a K, Phoenix with an F, radio, of course, with an R. Click into the live video and comment into our comment section now about our topic, which is relationship red flags. Before the break, Tony gave us his story about his fun trip to Washington, or lack thereof.
Washington.
For me, I think a red flag that I should have seen, but, I was young.
Hi, Chris.
I was naive. Not that one. Because in that case, I didn't actually have a relationship.
You've had some crazies back in the old high school days, bro.
Oh yeah.
I had MC Chunk. That was it. Sometimes you went whaling, and it was cool.
Now mine was after high school, actually technically after college too. Was dating a girl. We went over to her house, had some barbecue, some really good food, hanging out in the living room, and she accidentally dropped her plate on the rug, white rug. Barbecue sauce splattered everywhere. And the minute that I tried asking if I could help, she snapped at me. She said, "No, get out of here, get out." And she started freaking out. Should have been a red flag. Me being young and naive was not a red flag, but you know what? It happens. It's how we grow. It's how we become better at being ourselves as we grow up. But, it's one of those things.
You usually had those effects like when you broke up with the girl in high school. Like I never knew the college one. That's the first time I've heard that story. But you always had this weird effect on them where they'd go nuts and they'd come. Then all of a sudden, I was their best friend.
Yep.
So how's Chris? Does he talk about me? So what went wrong? Can I just ask you? Like, dude, every girl.
Hey, I knew
you've broken up with, so
I knew how to pick them.
It's a good thing I'm already friends with your fiance. Like I was friends with her before, and I'm friends with her during, and as long as she doesn't screw you over, we'll be friends after. But hopefully, there's not an after. But you know what I mean. It's just funny because like I look, I go, why didn't you see the flags? Because we're stupid, and sometimes as guys we think with certain things.
Yep. Now with Jesse, I know all of her crazy, and none of those are red flags. So that's where I think it's a good match. There's my crazy matches her crazy, and I think we'll be happily crazy together. So
happily crazy together.
Now, folks, we are talking relationship red flags. Feel free to chime in on the comment section of our live video. Tony, has anybody chimed in on your end?
Oh yeah, I reached out to a few peeps because I wasn't getting nothing. So I went out and I did a little research, and I even remembered, I can't believe I forgot one, which I will share after if there's still time. But let's get to the people of the Phoenix Nation. And Lacey had told me that one of her red flags, because she's been with Michael forever, and he's a fantastic dude. There is no red flags with that guy. He's a sweetheart. He's a good dude. Now, before Mike, there was some other one, and she was with him for a while, and I can say this because it's what was written, and I'm Ron Burgundy, and I read what's written, but he's an asshole. He was just, when he'd get drunk, he was just a complete asshole. So feels good to get a little curse words out sometimes. Way to go, a-hole! Yeah, well, and that's the thing. A bad drunk can really dictate, because if you have someone that's really cool in, sober life, and you're like, oh man, they're awesome, I want to spend all my time, but then when you drink with them and they're just like, oh man, they're just treacherous to be around, and they're violent, and they're angry, and then they like to drink, then that's not something you want to do with them. You're like, dude, I don't want that person. That's too much. So yeah, I can definitely relate to that.
I've come to realize that there's three types of drunks. There's angry drunks. Luckily, you and I are neither of those. There are flirty drunks, which Tony definitely is. And I'm the I love you man drunk. When I get drunk, and it takes a little bit to get me there. I love you, man. Oh, you're the best. Just so much love to go around.
You definitely are, and then you puke in a bag and we throw it in my neighbor's yard.
Yeah, the good old days.
That's how we became best friends.
Yep.
You definitely, there are those three types, and man, I become like Rico Suave, dude. Like I'm like a hot knife through butter, dude. I can talk. Sober, I'm like, nah, not so much.
Have you met Tony?
But anyways, and then we had our friend Stacy. Also, I reached out to her. She said OMFG, bahahaha, which is, she's just laughing, which is good. That's how she really laughs.
It's almost a maniacal
laugh like that. One of just a couple red flags, like if your person you're dating is keeping you secret, like, oh, don't post anything on social media. Don't put that out there and just keep it between us. It's usually a bad sign that they're either in another relationship still, or you're the side piece. There's a lot of bad things that could be if they're not being honest. So definitely monogamy issues. Yeah, it's hard out there. I can tell you, in the dating world, a lot of people out there, and it's disappointing, but there are a lot of people that are not forthcoming and honest, that they're still in relationships or trying to get out of them because of tricky situations. And me, in my head, I always think, well, I could fix that. You're not going to win, dude. Just, if they're still involved with somebody, either have a friendship or get the hell out of there and just roll.
Exactly.
Again, don't always translate well, not making time for you. One of the big things is when you put forth your heart and effort into somebody and then they don't reciprocate, or they just, when they talk to you, or when they finally see you, you go a few days, like I know, with her, it's something she's dealt with, but yeah, just simply, not excited to see you, or they don't put out the same vibe and energy you put in. So it definitely takes its toll.
Mm-hmm.
Not introducing you to friends or family, which of course goes along the lines of
keeping you
secrecy,
secret. Yeah.
But that's a frustrating one too. And, it's definitely something I could relate to in that. And then seems to only want sex. Yeah, that's definitely a red flag. It means you definitely are just the friend with benefits. Like, you don't have to have the title. It's just when you have that itch to scratch and you do it, that's it. Again, I've been in those too.
Oh, yeah.
God, I have been in a lot. What everything she says in there, I've been through a lot of those. And I'm stupid. And I'm like that idiot that would stick a knife in a socket over and over. Like, it's going to shock the bleep out of you. But I'm the idiot that keeps doing it. Like, I'm a glutton for punishment,
Yeah, it's the Tony dating checklist. I think you were able to check every single one of those off.
Damn. Yeah, no, Stace, thank you. That's a lot of good stuff here. Let's see. Nope, no one else has chimed in. Siri is apparently trying to chime in here. So close her out. But, that reminded me. Almost everything reminded me. And I'm not going to say names, but you know who it is. But it reminds me of that constant, ridiculous back and forth crap I did for like 2.5 years, where I was with the one, but then she couldn't tell the parents, and we had to like secretly go make out in a parking lot, and we had to go do this, and then, but we couldn't tell anybody. We had to be real mythical. Like, on one hand, it was fun. Like, during the time, I'm not gonna lie, I had a good time with it, but the breakup over and over, it was anytime it got too serious, it ended. And then I ended up dating somebody else, and then she'd be like, I miss you, and I'm like, oh, okay. And like an idiot, I go back and forth. And this thing was like, what was it, like 2.5? It felt like 5,975 years of this back and forth BS, but it was like 1.5 years, 2 years. Oh, there was red flags everywhere. My friends, like you included, like, I don't know, dude, like, you do you, but just saying, it looks like you could do better. I'm just saying,
Yeah,
so I always tell my friends now, it's like, just be blunt with me, like, tell me, and everyone's like, we will. And the last girlfriend, everyone's like, oh, she was nice. And I'm like, but no warning. You were happy, so that's all that matters. You were happy.
Yeah, there were a lot of.
I love that.
A lot of conversations of, it's over. It's I'm not going back. I'm not going back. I miss you. Here I come.
Oh, dude. I don't know what it was. Like now, like that girl could chime in like today and be like, I totally miss you. Want to get back together? And the answer would be no. Like the spell has been broken, you know, like, but damn, man, I was under a curse.
Oh, she put a spell on you. And it was forbidden.
One, man.
Yeah. You know, it was.
Yeah, it was that. Whew.
And ultimately, it came down to, you know, what a lot of people think is, you know, I can change them. It'll be different with me. It'll be, you know, and it's never the case. It never, ever goes that way. So,
no. Well, and it sucked too, because it's like sometimes in relationships, if you don't listen or pay attention to the red flags, you start to become somebody you're not. And that's where you have to go into any relationship or anything, and friendships, everything, anything you do in life, just be you. That's all you can. You try to be somebody fake or something else, it's disappointing, and you're just setting yourself up for issues down the line.
Good advice, Tone. You know, ladies, Tony is our eligible bachelor. If you don't check any of the boxes that we just went through, go ahead and reach out to him, and you know, maybe there's a little love connection there, folks. That does it.
He's got too many pop figures, man.
That does it for relationship red flags. When we come back, G-Man's joining us with NFL Week 14 picks. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Okay, what are you wearing right now?
Nothing.
That's right. So mommy's gonna teach you how to dress yourself. Underwear always comes first, name tag at the back, then pants, then shirt. Get the first button in the right hole or you have to start all over. Socks going first, then shoes, right on right, left on left. With shoelaces, just take the ends, cross them over, switch the loops, the rabbit goes down the hole, pull tight, and you're left with bunny ears. Got it? Why are your pants on your head?
Most parenting is hard to do in just 2 minutes. But 2 minutes twice a day making sure they brush their teeth is easier, and it could help save them from a lifetime of tooth pain. Visit 2min2x.org to find out more. A message from the Partnership for Healthy Mouths, Healthy Lives, and the Ad Council.
This message is for all of you sitting in the passenger seat. And apologies if it gets a little uncomfortable. But how does it feel to be at the mercy of someone who thinks a random text is more important than your life? Someone who takes their eyes off the road while speeding along in a 3-ton hunk of steel. Freaky, right? Well, why not just ask them to stop? Or better yet, volunteer to text for them. It might be a little awkward, but believe me, you'll live.
Learn more at StopTextStopWrecks.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration.
We are live outside the home of Joe and Rosie Goddard, where a pretty big tickle fight broke out just minutes ago. Sources say their father instigated the laughter. Let's go inside for a comment. Apparently, they have no comment. Dads, let this be a reminder that it only takes a moment to make a moment. Call 877-4DAD-411 or visit fatherhood.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
How's it going?
I'm having a stroke.
Are you going to shake my hand?
I'm having a stroke.
Wow, you're not even moving your arm.
I'm having a stroke.
When someone is having a stroke, they may not be able to say it with words, but their body language will tell you loud and clear. Look for FAST. F, face drooping. A, arm weakness. S, speech difficulty. T, time to call 911 immediately. Know the sudden signs. Spot a stroke fast. Visit strokeassociation.org. Brought to you by the American Stroke Association and the Ad Council.
Hello, Kubo. What have you got planned for today?
Come on, this way.
Adventure can be found anywhere, but the best place to start is in the forest.
It's the most powerful magic there is.
Head outside to discover incredible animals.
Wow.
And beautiful plants that come together to create an unforgettable adventure. So grab your loved ones and explore a world of possibilities. Visit discovertheforest.org to find the closest forest or park to you. Brought to you by the Ad Council and the U.S. Forest Service.
My teacher said that we should have a plan in case of an emergency. Do we have one?
First thing I'm gonna do is grab a flashlight with dead batteries.
I'm going to start randomly throwing clothes in the bag. You two will be hiding in the closet and Dad won't be able to find you.
And that's when we both start crying.
Uncontrollably. Can you pass the cutlets?
Winging it is not an emergency plan. Make sure your kids know what to do during an emergency. Who to call, where to meet, what to pack. Search Ready Kids at nyc.gov or call 311. Brought to you by the New York City Office of Emergency Management and the Ad Council.
You're listening to Phoenix Media, the future of broadcasting. Listen live at phoenixmedia.us. Get everything you need for the Kristian Fenix Radio Show over at phoenixmedia.us or on Facebook at facebook.com/Fenix Media Radio. Now back to the show. And we are back, folks. This is the Kristian Fenix Radio Show. It is Friday, December 11th. Now, we talk about it a couple times. It is the Fenix Line, our 24-hour-a-day, 7-day-a-week voicemail line, giving you guys the opportunity to chime in on anything whatsoever, including our call-in topics. For instance, our call-in topic for Monday is Christmas on the cheap. What are the best Christmas gifts to give to people if you don't have a lot of money to spend? So give us a call on the Fenix Line at 855-FENIX-RADIO. That's 855-FENIX-RDO or 855-336-4973 for the alphanumerically impaired. All we ask is that you keep it entertaining. We'll compile those together, put them out in a future show. Now it is that time, our favorite time each Friday, when G-Man joins us with his matchups, NFL Week 14, and I've only got one question for you. Are you ready for football? G-Man, how you doing today?
Doing good, brothers. How you guys doing?
I'm good.
Tony, you doing good?
Doing good, man. Sorry, I thought I got someone working on the furnace downstairs, so I was quiet for a second because I thought they said something. So, but yeah, I'm doing great, man. Sorry, live radio. I swear I didn't freeze and just froze up. Yeah. So
it's time for some football.
Exactly.
Yeah, baby.
Now it's crunch time. December football. It's the best.
Now you
it really is, man. It really is. Whew.
You sent me a message yesterday with your pick for the Rams game, which, I mean, the Rams blew the Patriots out of the water yesterday. Had no doubt that that was going to happen because they're not the Patriots of old. But that was yesterday. Let's look forward to the weekend, starting off with our wild card matchup. You've got the Chiefs -7, of course, by the hook, versus the Dolphins. How do you see that one playing out?
Yeah, this one, admittedly makes me a little bit nervous because they have to win by a touchdown, after buying the hook, but they struggled, last week. The Chiefs did, and of course, defending Super Bowl champions. They've been there before, even before they won the Super Bowl. You have, of course, the failures that they had, in the big games, namely against Tom Brady and Brian Flores. There was that year that the Patriots won the Super Bowl 2 times. They beat Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs that year, and then the following year, of course, the Chiefs won the Super Bowl. So I digress. But that being said, against the Dolphins, I think that of course Tua is questionable, but I think he's going to play. And of course, even if something happens and Fitzpatrick, is put in at the helm, I think that the Chiefs are going to rally this week. It's going to be a little bit more difficult, I think, for the Dolphins to keep up, assuming that the Chiefs are clicking, which even though they, kind of stumbled, a couple times, I was taking the points at the right time. And so it all worked out. But I think this is one of those big games. It's going to be a great game. They, of course, 11-1 against an 8-4 team. You have, 2 capable teams, that could, win the game, but let's see what happens.
Well, and the Chiefs always seem to pull it together when they're playing the bigger matchups. Last week was a little bit of a trap game against the Broncos, which, they didn't look great, but at the same time, they probably weren't expecting that to be as difficult for them as it was. And, it's just the way it goes. You let your guard down, you don't play as well, but they ended up winning that game.
Yeah, and that's exactly why I took them, because I could see that was a trap game based on these 2 games that were coming up. With the Dolphins, and the next week is the Saints. And then the 2 games after that, basically, they should have everything wrapped up with a home field advantage. I'm sure that's something that Andy Reid, is preaching to the crew. And again, it's time to compete and, at that high level. And I see the Chiefs, coming through, and hopefully they'll win by 7 to 10 points or more.
For our pocketbook's sake, let's hope you're right.
Yeah.
Let's move on with
our like a safe bet on that. So
let's move on with our marquee matchup. The no longer undefeated Steelers. You have them +3 again by the hook versus the Bills. Bills have been looking good in recent days, but I mean the Steelers, aside from that trap game, look virtually undefeatable.
Yeah, same thing. A lot of times I'll look for, again, angles, psychological angles, especially at this level. You're talking about 1,500 of the best football players, in the world. And these guys they're just the the differences are just so minor. It's more normally into technique and in this case, the desire, I think is going to be pretty strong on the Steelers. It's almost a relief after you are undefeated, say 11 weeks into the season, to get that loss, because it just keeps building up. Everybody's asking, are you going to go undefeated? Are you going to go undefeated? Don Shula, or not to, the Dolphins crew, is going to be calling and, hoping they're able to have their toast, when the team finally loses every year. And so that being said, it's a Mike Tomlin coach team. You can better believe, of course, again, everybody knows what the standings, the Bills are definitely a playoff team, and, in certain circles, probably a long shot Super Bowl, contender. And so the players are going to be up for this. I think the Steelers are the better team. They're going to be wanting to send a message and set things right, and they're getting 3 points. So I'll take that. And again, make sure you buy the hook, so that way if the Steelers do win by a field goal, you have a decision-making ticket, and you're going to be cashing instead of saying, dang.
Right.
Dang.
It's your insurance policy. Now, I got to ask, did you see the Twitter post from Larry Zonka during the last Steelers game, decked out in all of his Dolphins gear, and it's a selfie of him in front of the TV, just sort of basking in the glory that they were no longer undefeated?
Yeah, I did not see that, but I've seen plenty of them over the years, and what a fun club, to be in, to be on the roster of that 1972 Dolphins. And then after all of these decades, not years, decades of futility, and my Niners had a chance one year. They ended up 18-1, and actually the one game they lost was to the Steelers on a questionable pass interference call at Candlestick Park. And the Patriots with the Randy Moss, going undefeated, and of course losing to the Giants in that epic game with Plaxico Burress, making the winning touchdown. So yeah, it's not an easy thing to do. And the only thing I have to say is those guys were able to do it in 17 games. Now it's 19 games.
Exactly.
And,
yeah.
And this year, I think the playoffs are expanded, right? And so
they are. There's an extra playoff game. Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah. Let's move on to our best bet matchup. You have two teams whose records aren't reflective of how well they're actually playing. You have the Falcons -2.5 versus the Chargers. Losing records, but two very respectable teams.
Yeah, this one just kind of, this pick right here, I think the Falcons are going to prevail. First, anytime that the East Coast, you have that West Coast traveling to the East Coast Challenge, that doesn't bode well, a lot of times, especially when you're laying points, but the opposite is true, really, because you have an East Coast team and they have, of course, a time difference, but it's later in the day. You're talking about a 1 o'clock game, so their bodies are on 4 o'clock time, not 10 o'clock in the morning time.
Right.
And so that's a huge difference. And then looking at the way that the teams have played, of course, Anthony Lynn, at the end of the season, I think that his job is at best, in question. I think that he's going to be fired along with all the other, pundits that, chime in on the sports world. And looking, of course, at the two motivations, I think, of course, you got Herbert, the rookie quarterback, and he's having a fantastic year for sure. Absolutely. But it's almost like that game against the Patriots, a lot of things factored into that game. But at this point of the year, a lot of times mentally, some of the players do give up. I wouldn't call tanking it, because it still shows up on film. Mm-hmm. People are vying for their jobs next year, whether it be with that team or signing with another team. And then looking just at the way the Falcons, in spite of their record, they are the team this year, that could easily chalk up 3 or 4 wins because the games were so close. Even last week, they could have, in that last drive, upset the Saints, if Ridley could have hung on to that ball, on the last play. So anyway, yeah, I look for the Falcons to come out and be able to prevail by at least a field goal. It seems a good number. And let's see what happens.
Which is why we call it our best bet. So to recap, you have the Chiefs -7 by the hook versus the Dolphins. You have Steelers +3, again by the hook versus the Bills, and Falcons -2.5 versus the Chargers. G-Man, we love having you on each and every Friday. I put on my brand new Broncos hat hoping for the best, of course, expecting the worst because it is the Broncos this season. But G-Man, tell people how they can find you and some of the other projects you've got going on right now.
Yeah, well, I don't know if you noticed, but I started, putting the goatee back on, the ugly face I have here. And so that triggers normally that there's something going on with Seedless Tendency, and I don't have the happiness of being able to announce, any kind of show or anything like that. But I tell you what, probably in the next couple months, I'm going to hibernate and get into some songwriting. And so I'm kind of pretty much getting into character, and so that can be coming up. Hopefully, we'll be able to get some things going there. We have a best of Seedless Tendency, that'll probably be released in the next, maybe before the end of the year. It's all set up and ready to go, which will be kind of cool. And outside of that, Big Bongo Productions, the G-Man on on our page, and that's that's how you can get in touch with me.
Awesome. And I always put those posts up on our Facebook page. So, if you head over to our Facebook page, you know where to get a hold of us. You click on the link, it sends you over to G-Man. G-Man, thank you again. We love it every Friday. Folks, that does it for this version of G-Man's Mashups. Not Mashups, Matchups, NFL Week 14.
Mashup.
When we come back, we are headed into the final segment of the show. It is time for This Day in History. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
See you
later.
This is Mario Andretti. You know me as a race car driver, but I'm also a Meals on Wheels volunteer. I've raced against the sport's biggest personalities, but I've never met more vibrant, amazing people than the seniors served by Meals on Wheels. You can make a difference by dropping off a hot meal and saying a quick hello. So, America, let's do lunch. Volunteer your lunch break at americaletsdolunch.org.
This message brought to you by Meals on Wheels America and the Ad Council.
People been saying to your friend, get a different face, and posting on their feed, they're super ugly. The things they say to them online are cruel and they're not true. So tell your friend, I'll stand up for you. Don't worry, I know what to do.
Know someone being bullied online? You can be a witness and make a difference by letting the world know it isn't cool and by letting your friend know you care. Learn more at eyewitnessbullying.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council.
Hope you enjoyed your meal. And I just want to say, he's lucky to have a brother like you.
Lucky? Caring for my brother is far from easy. But he's a part of me, like my arms and legs, so I'll be his. No time for tired. Nothing can disable this love. He needs me, but I'm the lucky one, even though I need help now and then.
If you're caring for a loved one, visit aarp.org/caregiving for care guides and community. Support for your strength. Brought to you by AARP and the Ad Council.
Allison is perfect. I mean, she'd never tell you that. She's humble and perfect. She likes everyone. She even likes her untidy roommate's weird guinea pig. Allison, wait, are you texting and driving? Allison, no. That's the exact opposite of what I was just saying about you. Why, Allison? Why? Texting and driving makes good people look bad. Visit StopTextStopWrecks.org. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
I'm Paul George of the Indiana Pacers. When I was 6, my days were spent playing basketball. When I was 6, my dream was to make it to the NBA. When I was 6, my mom had a stroke. So I want you to learn to spot a stroke fast. F-A-S-T. F, face drooping. A, arm weakness. S, speech difficulty. T, time to call 911. I'm Paul George. Spot a stroke fast. Visit strokeassociation.org. Brought to you by the American Stroke Association and the Ad Council.
My name is Lola Silvestri, and I'm going to be 95 this year. I was very independent. I fell, and I had to have Meals on Wheels. America, let's do lunch.
1 in 6 seniors faces the threat of hunger, and millions more live in isolation. Drop off a hot meal and say a quick hello. Volunteer for Meals on Wheels by donating your lunch break at americaletsdolunch.org. This message brought to you by Meals on Wheels America and the Ad Council.
You're listening to Phoenix Media, the future of broadcasting. Explore more great shows at phoenixmedia.us. Get everything you need for the Kristian Fenix Radio Show over at phoenixmedia.us or on Facebook at facebook.com/Fenix Media Radio. Now back to the show. Well, you did it, folks. We made it not only to the end of this show, but the end of the week. It is Friday. It is the last segment of the show. This is the Kristian Fenix Radio Show. It is Friday, December 11th. Now, if you missed a portion of it, want to go back and catch up on any of the previous shows, go ahead and head over to phoenixmedia.us. Click on the show's link, scroll on down to the Kristian Fenix Radio Show. From there, you can get video, you can get audio as well, or head over to wherever you get podcasts. Whether it's Apple, Google, Stitcher, Spotify, Anchor Breaker, TuneIn, iHeart, Doozer, Dozer, Geezer, Gozer.
Are you a god?
It's just a trap.
Admiral Akbar.
It's a red flag. If a girl asks you if you're a god, it's a trap.
It's a trap.
So yeah, it's a trap.
While you're there, be sure to subscribe. That way you always have the latest episode. Leave a review. Let us know what you think and tell your friends. Because why, Tony?
Because sharing is caring. Now make me some pasta, bitch.
That's a new one.
Sorry, there was that TikTok video with the pasta. Maybe some pasta. I don't want none of your pasta. It just, for some reason, it still made me laugh yesterday. It got me through a crappy day.
There you go.
I'd randomly just think, make me some pasta, bitch.
Well, you know what will make your day better? Us dropping a little knowledge. Hopefully make you laugh at the same time. It is time for This Day in History.
Crossing the globe for the stories that turn the world on its head. It's This Day in History with your correspondent on the beat,
Kristian Fenix.
All right, folks, make sure
every time you play that too, not only do I still love the soundbite, but I always picture like grainy black and white like Sophia footage of just grainy little things and somebody talking with their finger like by a microphone. I don't know.
Yeah, the inspiration for creating that soundbite came from the movie Up. You know, that whole first scene where it's talking about it's the newsreel of the explorer going off. That was sort of the idea behind it. So
well, I love it, man. Kudos to you. I really love that intro. Anyhow, I digress. You've got some This Day in History, so let's get going.
Yeah, just make sure you
hold on to your butts.
Oh, no. Kick it off this day in history. This day in 1620, Miles Standish and a group of 18 settlers are attacked by 30 Native Americans, which became known as the First Encounter, and not of the close kind. Well, it was the close kind, but not the alien kind.
Yeah, right there. Well, if pee in your pants is cool, then consider me Miles Davis.
Different Miles. This was Miles Standish, and he was a cool Plymouth settler.
Hey, ladies, check out my little rifle gun. I got a turkey over there. That's right. A little close for my comfort. All right, bye-bye.
Moving on, this day in 1792, France's King Louis XVI goes on trial accused of high treason and crimes against the state. It doesn't say if he was found guilty or had his head chopped off.
Fatality.
But we know they like to do that.
He was more vicious than the 15th Henry before him.
Yeah. You know, 14 and 15, those guys were soft. 16,
but I'm hoping that one day we get This Day in History that 17 was the man. Like, we're hoping that was the ultimate version of Palpatine we needed,
Right.
Or is it the Snow? Sorry, it'd be Snoke. The clones of Snoke there.
There you go. Let's move on. This day in 1896, Chief Electrical Engineer of the British Post Office, William Preece, gives a public lecture in London called Telegraphy Without Wires, praising the work of 22-year-old Guglielmo Marconi. I love that name. I'm naming my next kid Guglielmo.
Guglielmo.
Come on, everybody. This is me with Judas Priest. Living after midnight. Googly eyes.
All I got out of that was Elmo and Judas. So Judas Priest and Elmo. Hybrid.
I like it. This day in 1928, Buenos Aires police thwart an attempt on President-elect Herbert Hoover. Again, don't know any details about it, but damn, he was a good president. Just kidding.
Yeah.
Hoover damn.
Herbert.
Anybody?
Herbert Hoover. Yep. I got nothing for that one.
That's all right. You don't have to have much.
I could just hit the soundbite.
Somebody put me back in the fridge.
We were talking football in the last segment. Well, this day in 1938, the National Football League Championship, again at the Polo Grounds in New York City. You had the New York Giants beat the Green Bay Packers 23-17. Record title game attendance of 48,120, which is paltry compared to some of the stadium sizes that we see these days.
Oh, absolutely. And another thing, too, is that could be a possible NFC championship game. Highly unlikely, but it's a possibility because the Giants currently lead their division in the pitiful NFC East. So it is a possibility. They go on this weird rampage and get there. Yeah.
It is a pretty terrible division. Also a little bit of a throwback to last segment. This day in 1946, Hank Williams begins to record on Sterling label. And, of course, his son went on to record this. Are you ready for football? It all
they should
ties
really,
together.
Like, they brought him back, and then they got rid of him again. It's just synonymous. I just wish they would revamp Monday Night Football and just make it good again.
I know. Well, I think they're working on it.
The games are good, but gosh, man, the presentation of that show is... Woo.
Well, we know it's coming back to ABC.
Yeah.
All right.
That's where it should be.
Let's move on. This day in 1961. Let's see if your impression's gotten any better since the last time we talked about this guy, Tone. Elvis Presley's Blue Hawaii album goes #1 and stays #1 for 20 weeks.
Well, thank you. Thank you very much. No, it's still bad.
It's bad.
Give me a heads up. I'd have to literally watch a couple minutes of Elvis to get in that. I can do it, but I have to watch a couple, get the mannerisms down. A honk, a bird of love, huh, Kristian?
It's better, but not great.
No, God, no.
Moving on.
Not great at all.
This day in 1980, Magnum P.I., starring Tom Selleck, premieres on CBS. And it was because of that show. Yeah, because of that show, we actually got Harrison Ford as Indiana Jones instead of Tom Selleck. It would have been a very different movie.
Whoa! And then I didn't know that I didn't know that fact, but I did just put it together with Chippendale Rescue Rangers because we had found the fact that Dale wore the Hawaiian shirt because of Magnum PI, and then obviously Chip wore the Indiana Jones. But that's crazy to think the roles, they all tied them to Rescue Rangers too.
It's all connected.
Yeah. I got a bad feeling about this.
Which, by the way, dude, Magnum PI, to this day, Tom Selleck still rocks the hell out of a mustache.
Yeah, he does. Yeah. In fact, there was an episode on Friends.
That thing needs its own show.
There was an episode of Friends where he didn't have the mustache, and it was weird. It was off-putting. It was like seeing a completely different person.
Yeah. It was kind of like, wasn't it, when Alex Trebek, he got rid of his famous stash?
Yep.
It's so weird when you get used to it. I'm not going to keep mine. I'll eventually go back to being babyface, I'm sure. But for now, eventually I'll even get rid of this. I'll rock a stash eventually just for one episode.
There you go. Let's move on. This day in 1981. Muhammad Ali's 61st and last fight loses to Trevor Berbick.
Ooh. Yeah. That sucks he lost.
Yeah, you don't want to lose your last fight.
All good things come to an end. Muhammad Ali, legendary, and pretty cool. He went out on the year we were born, though, 1981.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah.
I mean, well, you weren't born just yet. I mean,
yeah, give it another 9 days.
Yeah, me, Adam, we were pooping our diapers at that point.
Exactly. Let's move on. This day in 1987, Wall Street, film directed by Oliver Stone and starring Michael Douglas and Charlie Sheen, is released.
Winning. This was before Tiger Blood.
Oh yeah. This was
when I'm sure cocaine and everything was still popping for him at that time, though.
Yeah, this is when he was still a fairly normal human being.
Yeah, that dude needs a crazy reality show too, or has he had one?
I don't know. All right, let's move on. It's weird, sometimes the things we talk about come back around. Well, this day in 2011, Jeopardy host Alex Trebek suffers a minor heart attack in his home and is admitted to Cedars-Sinai Medical Hospital. Obviously, we know that he just recently passed from cancer complications, but that guy has been through just about everything.
Yeah, yes. What a great human being, too. Well, from what we saw in the entertainment world. From what I hear, he was a wonderful person, so... Hell of a fighter, man. Definitely trials and tribulations. Keep going.
And then finally, on this day in history, 2015, Playboy magazine publishes its last nude issue, features Pamela Anderson on the cover.
Ooh, she was only like 92 at that point, right?
Right.
Let the boobies hit the floor. Let the boobies hit the...
All right. And before
Pam, she was great in the 90s, though.
Yeah, she was. Before we let you guys go for the day, it wouldn't be a day without holidays. Tony, I've got a little surprise for you.
You had both. Nice. Ooh, yeah. Ooh, yeah.
Had fun putting that together. Today is Holiday Food Drive for Needy Animals Day. That's a lot of words for saying just help get some dogs some food and cats. It is
Come here, little Poochie. You's a little good Poochie. Who wants a candy bar? Oh, not you, because it'll kill you. But here's a dog biscuit.
It is International Mountain Day. It is National App Day. Of course, every day is International App Day. It is National Have a Bagel Day. That sounds delicious. Official Lost and Found Day. National Salesperson's Day. And it is the official start of Hanukkah. So happy Hanukkah, everybody out there.
Hanukkah.
Folks, that does it for our Friday episode. We'll see you Monday with a brand new episode. Enjoy your weekend.
Give love, get love.